Good evening. I'm Dr. Roy Taylor, and this is Internal Affairs with Dr. Roy Taylor. Thank you for joining me. I hope you'll enjoy our show. This is a very troubling case of police accountability and misconduct in America. Today's episode takes us to a county in Virginia where a routine encounter over a skateboard spiraled into a violent arrest, a lawsuit, and serious questions about the use of force by law enforcement. This case is called Barricks versus Wrong. The encounter. On an evening in March of 2022, Deputy Wright with the county sheriff's office in Virginia spotted a young man named Joshua Barricks. He was skateboarding along an avenue. Deputy Wright was on his cell phone when he saw Barricks. His reaction caught on dash camera was telling. He muttered, "This motherfucker is skating down the goddamn road." Instead of ignoring a minor non-criminal act, Wright turned his patrol vehicle around and followed Mr. Barricks into a convenience store parking lot. He hit the air horn a couple of times and then confronted him. What followed would leave Mr. Barricks hospitalized with a broken jaw, a fractured eye socket, and a brain bleed. Deputy Wrong accused Barricks of being intoxicated in a public place. Mr. Barricks denied it. Without observing obvious signs of impairment, Deputy Wrong declared, "You're under arrest." When Wrong grabbed Barricks' arm, Mr. Barricks pulled away and ran inside the store. Surveillance video shows Mr. Barricks quickly raising his hands and kneeling and saying, "All right, you got me." But rather than handcuff him with minimal force, Officer Wrong forced Barricks to the ground, delivered 12 punches to his head, and slammed his head into the floor twice, all within 21 seconds. Store employees were shocked, asking why the deputy was using so much force. Deputy Wrong's answer? Public intoxication. This case is simply not about one man and one deputy. It's about standards and what the Constitution requires of law enforcement. Since Graham versus Connor in 1989, officers are trained that force must be objectively reasonable under the totality of circumstances. So what does all that mean? It means that we weigh the severity of the crime, whether the suspect poses an immediate threat, and whether the suspect is resisting or attempting to flee. We call that the Graham factors. In this case, the alleged violation was skateboarding on a public street, which under Virginia law doesn't even apply to skateboards. The supposed crime did not exist. And when Barricks raised his hands and surrendered, any use of strikes, especially repeated head strikes, was far outside accepted law enforcement standards. The consequences? Mr. Barricks left that store on a stretcher. He woke up in a hospital bed, unable to move his jaw, see out of one eye, or feel half his face. This is not what policing should look like. Strikes to the head are considered high risk, potentially lethal tactics, reserved only for situations where officers or others are in imminent danger. Deputy Wrong himself admitted that his strikes weren't making Mr. Barricks more compliant, yet he kept hitting him. This is not control. This is escalation. This case reminds us of some critical truths. Officers must know the law before making a stop. That's why we're called law enforcement officers. Misapplying statutes erodes public trust and exposes citizens to unlawful detention. The use of force continuum exists for a reason. Communication, control holds, and de-escalation come first. Strikes to the head come last. When a subject surrenders, such as Mr. Barricks did, force must stop. Continuing to hit is excessive, unconstitutional, and professionally. In closing, in this case, a skateboard was never the issue. The real issue was power, judgment, and restraint, or lack thereof. As we've seen too many times before, when officers cross the line from reasonable force to brutality, it's not just the victim who suffers, it's the credibility of the badge itself. Thanks again for joining me on this episode of Internal Affairs with Dr. Roy Taylor. If you found this discussion meaningful, please share it, subscribe, and help us continue shining the light on these cases that define the boundaries of policing in America. Until next time, stay informed, stay critical, and stay safe.